What's good, peeps? What's good, everyone? All right, let me quickly load up this laptop and then we can get going. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're all doing it very, very well. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. All right, we are in. A few people have asked me, what am I looking at during the videos on my laptop? Most times I just open up Boxing Scene, a few boxing forums that I follow, my Twitter page, so that I can have a quick look at what Michael Benson and Mike Coppinger are saying and Dan Raphael. But yeah, that's it. That's all I do. Yesterday in the TalkSport studios, I interviewed Kayla Harrison. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Two-time Olympic gold medalist in judo, I believe. She's signed to PFL, the Professional Fighters League, and Clarissa Shields. Both of those ladies came into the studio. Two double Olympic gold medalists from the same Olympic cycles as well, 2012 and 2016. Kayla Harrison was jacked. Honestly, like she looked like she was like an Olympic bodybuilder. You know, like those ladies that go for like Miss Olympia. She looked really strong and powerful. She's wanting to fight Cyborg or Amanda Nunes. It's going to be difficult. Cyborg with Bellator, Amanda Nunes with the UFC. But yeah, to see her in person, I knew she was like stacked, but to see her in person, I was like, this girl is in shape, crazy. Clarissa, as energetic as ever. She's obviously wanting that Savannah Marshall fight, and then that's it. She said that she's going to do the Savannah Marshall fight. She said at the moment, the fight's heading to Newcastle. I was like, Newcastle? No disrespect to any of my Geordie followers, but I was like, come on, surely that has to go to the O2 Arena or the AO Arena, Manchester. But it looks like it might go to Newcastle. She isn't sure when it's going to happen. But she said once that fight's done, she's going to sort of leave boxing for a year and a bit to concentrate on getting better at MMA. So yeah, interesting interview. It was fun. The interview will be out, I think, tomorrow on TalkSport's podcast, Fight Night Extra. So if you want to listen to it, feel free to go over. All right, let's get into the main news. It looks like Canelo will not face Dimitri Bivol in September, will instead face Gennady Golovkin in the trilogy, which from a business standpoint makes sense. Like it's almost by far the better option. But I'm surprised. I thought Canelo might have thought, fuck that, run it back. I thought he might have done that. Again, this is a guy that hasn't lost since 2013. Although, you know, I thought he lost the Gennady Golovkin fight. Look, he hasn't lost since 2013, and that was obviously Floyd Mayweather. He's used to winning. I thought if someone beats him, he's going to run it back with anyone. So I thought he might think, you know what, you know, maybe I underestimated Bivol a little bit, a few adjustments, we can get that, we can get it. Instead, he's decided no. And you think of a lot of people that have had fights recently that I thought, you know, fuck it, run it back. People that have taken worse beatings. I mean, Wilder is the one that stands out against Fury. I mean, Wilder got stopped. They threw the towel in. People might say, okay, he wanted the get back because of money. Maybe, but I think Wilder can make good money fighting most top 10 heavyweights now. But he was like, you know what? Run it back. Run it back. And yes, it took a long time. It went through court, but he got it back. Obviously, AJ is going to run it back against Usyk. AJ ran it back against Ruiz. So there have been a few high-profile fighters that have, you know, suffered defeats and run that shit back. But Canelo's not doing it. Canelo, again, I think it's the wise choice, is saying, okay, you know what? Bivol, you go and potentially fight the winner of Joe Smith-Beterbiev, or maybe come to the UK and fight Buatsi, whoever else. There's other fights out there for him. And I will just handle a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin in a fight that will do good numbers. And it will do better numbers now, I think, because when it was earmarked, or when people were talking about it after Golovkin beat Murata, because of Golovkin's early 3 or 4 rounds, it was like, geez, I don't want to see Golovkin versus Canelo. But the way Golovkin ended that fight, and now Canelo coming off a loss, although Canelo's still a big favourite, that gap is sort of closing a little bit. Not a lot. I'm not going to, even though I'm a massive Golovkin fan, I'm not going to pretend that Golovkin has a big chance now. He's got a chance, but you still would favour Canelo. So that's what Canelo's going to do. He's going to defend. He straps at 168 pounds. And then we wait to see. We wait to see if he will revisit that Bivol fight. I think there are good options for him at 168 or still 160. Again, I know he's muscle bound and he's quite thick set. His neck and his legs are thick, but I have been around 154 guys, and I'm thinking of Liam Smith's the one, because I was with Liam Smith Friday, and yeah, Liam Smith obviously he's ballooned up a bit now because he's not had a fight for a couple of weeks, but Liam Smith looks bigger than Canelo, and Liam Smith's fighting at 154 pounds. Canelo's trying to fight at 175. So I think there are good fights out there for him. I don't mind the Golovkin fight. I really don't. I almost feel like in some ways Golovkin deserves it because he won the first fight. I saw something today. I'm probably not going to be able to find it. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember the guy's name, but basically everyone says that Golovkin won the first fight. I thought the second fight was very, very close, but a lot of people, fans, I said, no, Canelo won the second fight. There was something going round on Twitter yesterday. Who bloody, I can't remember. Anyway, what it was all the media members were given their scorecards in for the rematch, so number 2. Every single media member had it either a draw or to Golovkin. Nobody had it Canelo. How crazy is that? And I think of the media members, you're talking, I think about 40. So just based on that, I think Golovkin deserves it again. It's taken a long time for it to happen, but he deserves it. But yeah, that looks like it's going to happen. No announcement yet. I'm sure they will announce it very, very soon. They don't play when it comes to announcing Canelo fights. He's a man that's quite strict on September, May, and maybe even one in December or January, like we've seen before with Rocky Fielding and Yildirim. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. For Bivol, I guess if you really want the Beterbiev Smith winner, you can get it. You can get it. I know he does have a deal with Matchroom and DAZN, so I'm guessing he's going to have to possibly ask permission. Is that how it works, to go and fight on ESPN? But I'm sure they're not going to stop him from doing it. And then we'll see. And then we'll see what happens. And if he doesn't, if there's a problem, him fighting Beterbiev Smith winner, then look, Boatsie's there. Boatsie's there. He'll happily come to the UK. He would have watched Boatsie's performance, I'm sure, and he would have thought, yeah, I can beat him. I mean, I think there are holes there. One of the big ones is Boatsie's, maybe it's a game plan, but the fight him for 2 minutes, then a minute rest thing that he does, I don't think you can do that at the top level. I don't think you can. So look, we'll see. But that's the news. Canelo will likely fight Gennady Golovkin in September and not the Bivol rematch. Interesting. Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero is this weekend. Again, it continues this fantastic back-to-back weeks of fights. I'm going to do a separate video about it. It's a fight I like. Gervonta Davis, I believe, is no longer, or this is his last fight on the contract with Mayweather Promotions. So we'll see who picks him up. And you know what? I say we'll see who picks him up. Fighters nowadays, let's be honest, I mean, all you need to do is have a broadcaster. It's good to have a promoter, someone that does all the work for you, but you just need a broadcaster. Gervonta Davis can start Gervonta Davis Promotions. He can literally do it himself. I think he's got that much of a following. It's difficult, it's hard, and you're going to need a good team around you, but he can. So as much as everyone's saying he's going to be a free agent and who's going to snap him up, he could just do this by himself. So we'll see. But look, we'll do a separate video about that. Benavidez, this is Eddie Hearn saying this, is a very, very big fight for Canelo. PBC should give him plant. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing that, Benavidez plant. I really want to see Benavidez Charlo. They're the two that have had the heat. I like a bit of heat. I don't mind it at all in the lead up to fight, especially if it's genuine heat. And I think Benavidez has genuine heat. So I wouldn't mind. And if we are doing this, bear in mind, Benavidez is fine at 160 at the moment. He'll happily go up to 168. Happily go up to 168. In fact, no, let me just double check that. Was his fight against Lemieux super middle or middle? Sorry, Pete, just double checking. It might have been, yeah, it was 160. Apologies, I got that incorrect. I don't know where I got him at 160. He's a 168 guy. I want to see Benavidez Charlo, and the winner of that then fight the winner of Canelo Golovkin. I know it doesn't work like that sometimes, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's what it should be. Why did I think? Where have I got Benavidez at 160 from? I don't know. But yeah, I like that. I like Charlo versus Benavidez way more than I like Plant versus Benavidez. Way more. We'll see. A bit here from Otto Volin. I'm here to work my way up rankings, force champions to fight me. Yeah, you need to work. He needs to work. I mean, the problem for Otto Volin is that he didn't look good against Sokolowski, did he? I wonder if Dillian White Otto Volin will get made now. I wonder if that's an option. I am hearing as well that the Joe Joyce Joseph Parker fight looks like it isn't going ahead. I'm not sure what's happened there. Have you seen the advert that BT Sports have put out? Quite funny. Basically almost taking the piss out of it. Joe Joyce is in the advert himself, but taking the piss out of the fact that he doesn't know how to sell a fight and almost going through lessons of trash talk. Quite smart. I think they're good on playing that. But yeah, it looks like Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker isn't happening. So for Otto Volin, I mean, there's a good opportunity to fight one of those two guys. Or, as I said, maybe revisit the Dillian White fight. We'll wait to see what Dillian White's going to do. Obviously, Derek Chisora is going to fight Kalnacki, which is a crazy fight, honestly. Crazy fight. I don't know about that one. You know what it is about that one is that Kalnacki throws loads of punches, Chisora throws loads of punches. That's just going to be a brutal fight. And these are not the fights that Chisora should be having at this stage of his career, but it is what it is, man. Michaela Mayer versus Alicia Baumgardner looks like it's done. Top Rank announced it on their Twitter page. So, you know, barring any crazy thing happening, we are going to get to see that one. Again, it's another, I think it's a super fight. You're looking at sort of 3 belts on the line. These two have gone back and forth for a while. You know, I don't know. I honestly have no idea how they're the same weight class. I have absolutely no idea. It's not just that Michaela Mayer's a lot taller. She's not skinny either. She's not slim. She's not. I mean, I met both of them. Obviously, I've met Alicia Baumgardner a few times, but I met Michaela Mayer for the first time at Madison Square Garden. And they literally, we were trying to get them on together. We thought that would make sense. They initially, this is the zone, wanted to put Baumgardner and Terry Harper. I was supposed to interview them together. And I was like, I ain't doing that. I mean, Baumgardner just knocked out Terry Harper. That's kind of a weird interview. And I said, why don't we get Michaela Mayer and Baumgardner together? But we couldn't do it. So they kind of missed each other by a few minutes. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I would make Michaela Mayer a favourite. I think she's the better boxer of the two. But we know Baumgardner's good. She's good. I mean, it was a breakthrough year last year for her. I didn't really rate her performance last time out. I was ringside for that. But yeah, that's a good fight. And I think the winner of this will definitely go up to 135 pounds and then chase, I don't know, Serrano or Taylor. They'll chase that. But yeah, great fight. Looking forward to that one. A bit here, I just read this out, but a bit here about Chisora inking a contract for a July return. I do know that Sky were very, very interested in his signature, but he's decided to stick with Matchroom and DAZN. Interesting. Usyk, a bit here saying Usyk is going to use Bakoli as a sparring partner to prepare for Joshua rematch. I expect this to be announced in the next week or so. I'll be very surprised if it isn't. Matchroom put on their Twitter page a picture of Joshua, didn't they, or a video with eye emojis sort of saying coming soon. This is going to happen. It's going to be July 23rd. It's going to be Saudi Arabia. It's going to happen. Huge fight. Huge. It might just be one of the best sort of January to July runs, sort of best start of the year runs I can remember in boxing. Obviously, look, there are some fights that we still want to see, but it's been such a good run. And I think we're going to get a massive announcement about Errol Spence, Terence Crawford soon as well. And then fuck me, boxing is won. It's won. If we get that, if that happens this year, And then remember, what you got to think about is everyone that's fought between January and July, you basically just turn them around now and they're having their second fights from July to December. If we get Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford in that mix, mate, I'm going over to America for Munguia's fight against Kelly, June 11th. I'm going over there to work for DAZN on that fight card, which is interesting. I've never worked on a Golden Boy fight card. Obviously, the DAZN shows I've done have been Matchroom. So it'd be interesting to see how Oscar does his stuff. But yeah, very excited to go to California. I'll fly out, not next week, I think the 8th or the 9th of June. So that's going to be interesting. Again, once again, thank you so much to DAZN to get me out there. What else have we got here? Jamel Herring has retired. I thought he might have one more. For some reason, it looked like he was still kind of floating around, but then I guess that decision isn't an easy decision to do. So he's obviously had a conversation with those he needs to have a conversation with, and he's decided, you know what, enough's enough. He's made some good money. He would have made decent money from the Carl Frampton and decent money from the Shakur Stevenson fight. He's been a world champion. That's it. Honestly, what more do we want? That's it. That's it. I spoke to Babbage yesterday, Alan Babbage for DAZN. Interesting conversation with Babbage. He separates himself from the Savage. So like when I was speaking to him, I almost realized I wasn't speaking to the Savage. I was speaking just to Alan Babbage. Does that make any sense? He even says, the Savage done this, the Savage done. I was thinking the Savage is you, brother. But look, he's very happy with how it's turned out. I mean, he never expected to have a WBC belt. Obviously, that was for a WBC silver bridgerweight title. And although some people might laugh at that, like, you know, because, you know, there are, you know, I get the bin the belts thing. He's so happy with it. So, you know, when we say bin the belts, or like when Nick Pete and Adam Cattrall say it, and they are correct, by the way, because I do think the belts are ruining boxing to an extent. Just to see Babbage's reaction and having the belt on his shoulders, he was talking to me, and what it meant to him, it kind of makes me think that bin the belts thing, I don't know. Like, it's easy for us as non-fighters to say, but again, seeing Babbage and what that belt meant to him and the reaction he got back home, yeah, maybe we don't bin the belts. Maybe we just sort of clean up the sport a little bit, but we don't bin the belts. But anything else we've got? Let's have a look. I'm not quite sure. A bit here. Did you guys see Mayweather, by the way? Looked quite good, didn't he? Mayweather looked good, man. And that's a Mayweather that's, you know, not really in shape. Obviously, he would have got into some shape, but, you know, when Mayweather gets into shape, like when you saw him against like Logan Paul, Mayweather can get into that shape where you still see abs and, you know, he looks very, very dense. Obviously, he wasn't for that fight, but I thought Mayweather looked all right. I haven't seen the card. I did watch Mayweather's fight in full there, and I thought, still sharp, boy. What is he, 44, 45? Still sharp. Still sharp. I do think if Mayweather, and this might be so silly, but if Mayweather got in shape, sparring, like real good boxers, could he beat someone within the top 20? And if some of you might jump up, and of course he can. Don't know, ain't that easy, people. Ain't that easy. But yeah, look, he got in great shape. I think he's going to have an exhibition fight against Amir Khan, and I think that will do good numbers, especially in that Middle Eastern region. It'll be very, very big numbers. We didn't really talk about Benavidez destroying David Lemieux. Look, David Lemieux, at best, has always been a B-level fighter at his best. So now I don't even know what he is anymore. And when I'm talking at his best, I'm talking in and around the time he fought Golovkin and Billy Joe Saunders a few years back now. So I'm not quite sure what he was. So it's difficult to put a lot of stock on Benavidez's win. But regardless, you've got to go in there and make that guy look like a D or E level fighter. And he did that. Benavidez is a problem. Benavidez is a big, big problem. Of all the guys at 160 and 168, he's the one that I think could beat Canelo. He's that guy. He really is good. There's nothing to not like about the way he fights. It's aggressive. He uses his size. He sits on his punches. Great ramrod of a jab. Big problem. I don't know if Canelo takes that fight. I'm not saying Canelo's ducking because I don't necessarily think Canelo's that guy, but I think his team might not let him take that fight. He's a problem, Benavidez. All right, guys, I think that's that. I think we are done. Are we done? Yes, we are done. Let's have a quick look at Mike Coppinger's Twitter page just in case there's anything of interest there first before we wrap. No, a bit here about Michaela Meyer, Baumgardner. It will be on Sky in the UK, which is good. We can watch it, and ESPN in the US. Yeah. Yeah, nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. When is Inoue Danair? When is that? June 7th. June 7th, June 7th, June 7th. Am I here? Am I right? If I am around, we're definitely doing a live watch along for that because that's going to be at a good time as well. I think that's going to be around 9 or 10 in the morning. Might as well. Peace and love, people.